Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you stay in the last session in the conference. Today, my presentation, I present from all the efforts of the scholars and special educators in Taiwan. As you see, presentation and poster, we present lots of implementation of the PBS in Taiwan. And they show you more detail. They try to promote PBS in Taiwan. Although we have so many things to present, but today I would like to start how we develop PBS in Taiwan. Similar to Korea, we start from behavior modification in 1970s, and ABA is first introduced in 1990s. And the PBS will start around 2000 years. And this is one of the pioneer professor who is Dr. Chen Ronghua. He was experimental behavioralism, and he began applied behavioralism, and he tried to introduce behavior modification. I would say he is the first one, and I'm lucky. I'm Professor Honghua. We were his student, and he published the first textbook in 1976. Probably I'm the only one to see this textbook. And also he offered courses in Department of Education Psychology in National Taiwan Normal University, and where I am Dr. Honghua graduate from. And I took his class in 1978, and he also tried to conduct lots of research and supervise graduate students on instruction and consequence operation in 1980 and 1990s. During that time, most of the study focused on the consequence operation, but he is the first person to introduce single subject design method in Taiwan. We are lucky we were students and we follow his step. And he's the father of our new chair in our department. And in 1990s, in my article, I was invited by Joe to introduce PBS in Taiwan, published in newsletter of the American Association of PBS a few months ago. Yeah, I mentioned this. The first workshop in Taiwan about the functional assessment was introduced by Robert O'Neill. And it was 2 months after I come back to Taiwan, and I give him a hug because I'm the only person to talk about the functional analysis, and I'm so nice to find another person to talk about the functional assessment. And after his workshop, he gave us very good introduction. And after his workshop, and I worked with Dr. Zhang Bailey. He was a center of the special education. He gave me lots of opportunity to offer teacher training and zero workshop to introduce functional assessment. Finally, I had chance to offer a graduate course in my department. And I try to introduce special educators. Not only look at the consequence, we have to look at the whole procedure of what behavior shape. Unfortunately, colleague Dr. Zhang and Dr. Lin Hui-Ben in Zhanghua University, they start research on the functional assessment, and they try to advise standardize the tool of the MAS modification assessment test, and also try to find the function of problem behavior of the autistic children, or function of the behavior problem of the student with ID. They all start in late 90s. Finally, we found our Taiwan Association for Behavior Analysis. I don't know how many years behind Japan. and it was founded in 2007. And Dr. Feng Hua is the first president in Taiwan. She really made lots of effort to promote ABA and like certification and translate lots of textbook Taiwan. And I really appreciate we have such a wonderful colleague to work with. So according to those past two stages, and you can see we really start from the consequence operation in the beginning. And in 1990s, we start to look at the whole process of the why behavior shape. The functional assessment and functional equivalent and functional-based intervention, they are all a topic of our study. And also, they will be a core skill in our class. So we try to publish, doing the research to accumulate the local evidence and put this and link the research to the professional training and to registration. And through these efforts and the experience for us to promote, to change behavior modification to APA and functional analysis, and I think it's a good foundation for us to promote PBS. So when the first time the term introduced in the textbook by Liu Wenying, who is a professor in Kaohsiung Normal University in 2001, and some articles were published to introduce what is PBS in Taiwan. And this publication is very helpful for us to implement the PBS. And then we start our practice model. As you hear the two presentations in the first symposium yesterday. One is from Taipei City, the other one is a new Taipei City, and they are all wonderful group because they try to build evidence-based procedure, evidence-based practice model in Taiwan and in local district. And so we have very good practice process how to implement the PBS in district-wide. And also we start research about the PBS. The first one is by Zhang and Zhuang in 2005. They were a student and a scholar in Tainan University. It was done in a high school student with intellectual disability in special school. And most of it, since now we have, I think my research, we have more than 50 studies about the PBS, but not all of them is really PBS. But unfortunately, most of the study focus on individual level. And fortunately, we moved to the legislation. The enforced role of the special education required functional-based intervention plan in IEP for special education students with behavior problem in 2013. And also the guideline of the school counseling borrow 3-tier school-wide model was introduced, was amended in 2013. And also ABA course became the required course for certification of special education in 2015. So I think this legislation helped us to promote PBS in Taiwan. And in Taiwan, we have more than 85% of the 85% of special education students are in mainstream school. So our challenge is different from other Asia countries in Taiwan. Then I will mention this. You know, so we try to implement the PBS from different domains. However, this domain start from at a different time and different perspective. So how to integrate this effort is one of our future goals. And I told you, although our culture, we value harmony, but special and different is hard to be accepted. So we have lots of group assembling, and this is a session most challenging to our special students with challenging behavior, because they have to be uniform, they have to be obedient, they have to be quiet for like 30 minutes to 1 hour for assembling. So in the old time, if we put students in the special school, group harmony is not issue. But if you want to put special ed student in regular school, the group harmony will be an issue and a challenge for special education teacher. So who is the most important? Group harmony or individual needs? That's why I would like to give acknowledgement to our special education teacher in regular school. Because in the past 10 years, most of the special education teachers in regular school, they have to talk to their regular education teacher and support them, and coach them how to deal with challenging behavior, how to work with our special education teacher to give a chance for our special education students to be in group. So we have to promote, appreciate the difference. And like Roger's guys say, equality is not equity. So the difference is our brother. He is not outsider. As you know, Chinese culture, although we are very close, but insider and outsider are very different. Okay, so we have to promote why we should appreciate difference. Yin Yang is very good to tell our people difference can make a whole. And also preventive idea and the whole system idea is very common in Chinese medicine. In Chinese medicine, we have 3 tiers idea. First one, we have to prevent sickness when we were healthy. Then we have to prevent change when you feel sick. Then you have to prevent relapse after disease. So our Special Education Association of the Republic of China, the board member, assigned whole working group to make the working model to promote PBS, to follow the rule, because we try to reduce our special education teachers' pressure, and we try to successful prevention of PBS. So the draft is tested in 3 areas: South and Central and North. And the next step, I think if we want to develop PBS in Taiwan, the standard training goals and working procedure is needed. And this is our draft. We just finished this month. And the more preventive than reactive, and we have to move down to secondary and primary. According to our legislation, we focus more Tier 2 and Tier 3. Although we have RTI in our LD definition and learning emotional and behavior, RTI in emotional and behavior disorder, but we still neglect the Tier 2 to Tier 1. And also we have to emphasize the data-driven decision for intervention. Because in our tradition, we rely on experienced person's wisdom. So the fast thinking is more respected. So we have to introduce the data collection, analysis, conclusion, and plan is very important. Every plan should be data-driven. And data, we misconcept that data, it should be published in journal. If we don't publish it, we don't need data. We have to promote data can guide you intervention data can guide you the objective of the instruction. And data is a root for information, for knowledge, and wisdom. And also, the data-driven decision is based on we respect every individual and context. So the PBS for all of us in Taiwan, I think we have to move down and we have to more cooperation. And thank you for your attention. And this is our wonderful group in the North area for working model. Thank you.